Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of my YouTube channel. It's good to see you guys again. It was a very incredible March Madness tournament. I cannot believe, I have no words to describe on how good it was. Next year, we hopefully will have buzzer beaters for wins, but congratulations to all the teams that have made it this far for the year. They had a lot of upsets. We had St. Peter's in the Elite Eight. We had Michigan making a shocking run to get in the tournament in the Sweet 16. Had Arkansas beating Gonzaga, so we have a lot. So I want to do a little special edition video today. I decided I am going to make my own bracketology every 2 months, and it starts today on April 6th, 2 days after the national champion was crowned. So I did this all on my own. That's what I thought and what I think for so far, and then it's going to change. That's why I say every 2 months, because of how many players declare, they transfer to other teams. That's kind of how I'm going to switch it out. But it won't switch out a lot, but maybe between the 1, 2, 3 seeds, it could really have an impact there. So yep, those will kind of be the teams that switch. It depends who declares in that. So yep, every 2 months this will happen, the bracketology, and then after a bracketology, it would be a pick like 2 or 3. It would be full picks on who I think is the champion, like a day or so after when there's time. So without any further ado, we will start. So I've seen 3 articles today, reading this afternoon, that Arkansas is the top seed to win it all and get the #1 overall seed. So I have them in the West taking it, and they would be playing in the West Coast, which would be a long drive for Arkansas fans, but they will be very excited to have this type of year. And then I have them against the American East winner. It's the conference UMBC's, and I'm not going to say it's UMBC, but they could have the American East represent the 16th seed, depending upon how it goes. Next, we have Florida. I think they're gonna actually make the tournament after missing out this year. So I think they're gonna make it back again. They'll be an automatic. Creighton out of the Big East, I believe, will make it again. They won this year, so I think they're gonna be in that typical 8-9 game. That would be a good game to watch. Houston against the play-in team. I think Kelvin Sampson and Houston have a shot to cut the Nets down in their home state, Houston in Texas. So yeah, they are definitely like Cinderella favorites, definitely, if they do cut the Nets. So I got to put them as a top 5 seed at least. And then 12th seed, I'm not so sure on. So yeah, just give me time to think of the teams that would barely get in. I can't really think of that right now. And then Florida State will be our 4 seed. And then VCU, who hasn't gotten in for a very long time. And if they win their conference tournament, they would make it as a double-digit seed. So I think this would be an appropriate time to put VCU in the tournament finally. And then I think Wisconsin, with Brad Davidson leaving, is going to be very down this year. So they are going to be down to a 7th seed this year, my early prediction. So we'll have the Badgers as a 7th seed. The 10th seed, USC, and USC is returning after losing to Miami this first round, and I have them a couple seeds down because I think they have a couple transfers going to protocol, so I got to have USC go down there. And then 6th, we have TCU, and then there's also a play-in game between the 11th seed. So, and then TCU, I think, will improve their seedings from number 9 to number 6 because they nearly pulled out against Arizona, and they could have aspirations to make the Big 12 final after being one of the last teams in the conference to get into the tournament. I think they could have a legitimate seed if they even make the Big 12 championship. So that's what I'm thinking there. And then Gonzaga, if Drew Timme comes back, I think they're at least a top 3 seed, but I can't see them winning it all again. I know it happens every year with them, and I gotta have them go down the seed. And not only that, have St. Peter's repeat a turn in the NCAA tournament and give them a higher seed by one ranking. So I got to have that happen, and it will be no funnier team to have them beat than Gonzaga for 2 years in a row as a Cinderella. And 14 seeds have only won 3 or 4 times in the tournaments. How funny would this be? Arizona against Mercer would be the other one. Mercer has not been in years, and I think that's another upset alert that Mercer could beat Arizona, but Arizona is going to be back, and they're going to be very ready to play this year, and I think they're going to have a little bit more momentum to get a top seed. So I have to put Arizona as a 2 seed. I definitely have to, because they're going to have a little bit more guts after an early exit this season. North Carolina, I think the defending world champions are going to be #1. They're going to have a lot of playmakers back. Their head coach I really like, and I think he's going to be a great fit for making it as runner-ups his first year. think they're gonna beat Duke in semifinals or finals in the ACC tournament, and they will repeat their chances obviously at the NCAA tournament, and then they will play 16 seed 7 Texas Southern. Texas Southern will be in for their second year in a row, and they lost to Kansas. Not even close, but they met up Kansas last year, so it would be a second season in a row they would make it. Butler number 8, and they were in the NIT this season, so I think they're gonna have enough to get in the tournament again. I think they are very due to get in eventually down the road. And then Memphis will remain as a 9th seed. They won a really big game this year, and I think it was big that they won a game in the tournament. So and they beat Boise State too. And I do not have Boise State in my field, so I think Memphis will be back in it to at least get a shot. And then Ohio State, I have as a 5th seed. I think Caleb Young's gonna improve. Return for his senior season. I think they're gonna improve their seed, and they would be high front runners in this South region to do very well. And then number 12, Richmond and Notre Dame. Richmond beat Iowa their first game of the tournament, and I think Notre Dame with barely missing the Sweet 16 last year, I think they're gonna have a chance to be the last 4 in this year. So that would be a last 4 in. That would be a play-in game. That would be a very good play-in game, and Richmond, I think, would make it again. And then Alabama, I have as a 4 seed. UC Irvine, who has not made it in a while in a smaller school conference, I have as 13th seed. And then Oregon. Oregon made the NIT, but I had them making it back to the tournament. I think the Pac-12 needs a couple more teams in the tournament besides your UCLA's, and I think Oregon can do it again this season. So I think Oregon will be a way too early number 3 seed to make it. And then 14th seed, we would have the Horizon League winner, whoever wins the Horizon League, with the Horizon League getting stronger these days. I think the Horizon League winner would meet up against Oregon. And then number 6, I have Texas, and then 11, Murray State as their second tournament in a row would be a double-digit seed this time. So they would fall down a little bit, but they would still at least have a chance to make another Sweet 16 in a row. Purdue, I think, will be down, and I know they're down every tournament, but they're legit enough where they can make the Big Ten semifinals and then clinch a 3 seed out of it. So that would be really big if they clinched a 3 seed, and I think they would. And their sides again with under head coach Matt Painter, I think he's going to have enough size where he really wants to improve after last year's tournament. And then Kansas will repeat their appearance in the tournament, and they will be a number 2 seed. And I think Christian Braun, sounds like he is not going to declare, and he's going to be a senior. And then Abachi, it would be fun to see him play again this year, but I think Christian Braun being back will definitely get them as a 2 seed. And then they would meet up Florida Gulf Coast, who beat Georgetown several tournaments ago. So I think they would be back to a 15th seed like they were in 2013. I predict Florida Gold Coast just for fun here. The Midwest, our second best team in the way too early predictions is UCLA. Johnny Drewsgang is supposed to return for his senior year, and they have a couple players that could declare, but I think most of their team will be back. And then just ignore the 16th seed, so Texas Southern will be out. I'll just take them off the list right now, so that'll be an NA. So excuse me on that one. So that's another small conference winner or play-in. I'll put it as a play-in. Yep, so we are back now. And then I think Georgia will eventually make the tournament. It will be their first tournament since 2003, and they would not play Butler either. So I'm just testing this out, so just keep bearing with me throughout the year on doing this. Michigan State, I think, will be back, and Izzo doesn't have much time left, but I think they would improve their seed compared to a 7th seed this year. It'd be nice for the Big Ten if they improve their seeding to be a little bit more contenders. And then Davidson would repeat their tournament appearance this year, and then they would play It would be against LSU. LSU would also LSU would also be in their 3rd tournament in a row. So then Duke, it could be another Michigan State Duke matchup. When in my early predictions, I think it could happen again. That these teams are very prone to play each other this early. I think they could be. I think they would have a chance to play against each other. And then the 13 I do not know about. Virginia, I believe, will be back in the tournament for the first time since 2021. I believe it's going to be time for them to come back in the tournament after making the big run to the NIT and losing in the semifinals. So I think it'll be enough for them to be back. And then we have Marquette returning to the tournament for a second year in a row. And I think they're gonna do good things this year. So, and Shaka Smart thinks he's gonna build them up at least a little bit to make the tournament, but they would be a bubble. And then Illinois will continue at least making the tournament, but this year I think they'll have they'll be a 3 seed, and they want to make their first national championship and Final Four since 2005. So they want to get that going, and I think they will this year. 14th seed, I had the Summit League champion. The 7th seed, I can't figure out here. And then San Francisco, I believe, will be a 10th seed again. And then Tennessee will play the winner of the Atlantic 10. And Tennessee will improve their seed because I think they have a lot of players back after last season. After last season losing to Michigan in the second round, I think they could improve their seed by at least one ranking. I have total belief that they will, with good SEC play and with big non-conference wins early in the season. They'll get their seeding very high. And this one I have a dark horse. I know Colin Gillespie will finally leave Villanova, but I think this is the 1 year Villanova will be the 1 seed for the first time since 2017. I think they have played really well enough. They've matched up well against Kansas till the late second half, and I think they've done a lot of good work. And if they continue to do a lot of good work, win the Big East, I think winning the Big East would be a legitimate spot for them and legitimate chance for them to be a number 1 seed in the region. So I believe they would be in the East region in my prediction, and their fans would draw out really well for the East Regional Final if they did. So then they would play in a play-in game of the 16th seeds. And I think Oregon State will make it. I think Oregon State will make it as the 8th seed. And then we had Jim Larranaga and Miami improving to a 9th seed after becoming a 10th seed last year, advancing to Elite 8, beating Auburn, and then losing to Kansas. They were eliminated to Kansas, but the fact they made the Elite 8 was a very big deal. And then they also beat Iowa State to get to Elite 8. So it would be, I think they'll improve. I think they'll improve by 1 seed this year. And then LSU will improve by 1 seed as well. I have a lot of seeds improving from that Milwaukee region. That's very funny, but I have a lot of belief that'll happen. And then they will play a play-in champion of the other play-in game. And then Villanova will play the winner of the Big Sky. Kentucky, I don't know who they would play. Texas A&M would play Virginia Tech. I think Virginia Tech would make it in this year. They were very close to making the 3rd round, but didn't miss out by a lot. And they were going to play the winner of the Purdue game, so I think they'll make it again as the same seed identically. And then I think, unfortunately, as the University of Michigan fan, I think Hunter Dickinson is going to leave his junior season. I think he's going to leave his junior season and declare for the NBA. So I think I have to have Michigan well down, preparing for Hunter Dickinson to declare, but if he does not declare, I will get their seed up to a 4 or 3. But for now, I have to, for the early prediction with my prediction him leaving, I'll have Michigan as a 7th seed, and then 10 will be DePaul. I think that DePaul, with them being the NIT, I think they're a step up where they can win a couple big games in the Big East tournament and then submit their automatic bid. And then Texas Tech, I think Texas Tech will be a good seed, and they lost to Duke, and they had a really tough draw with Duke in the Sweet 16. I think they're going to improve a seed by 1 more this year, and Texas Tech is like a top 15 favorite to win this year, so I got to have them as a 2 seed there. And then Drake has not made it for a long time, so I had to pick Drake for fun. So I hope you all enjoyed this 14-minute segment on my way too early predictions. I feel very talented doing this, and I really had fun doing it. And it took me about a day and a half after the championship game was over. I thought who could be favorites and who could move up in the tournament bracket compared to last year. So I hope you all enjoyed it. I had fun doing it yet again. So have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you on my next video. Bye.